Coffee time again, exposing the truth. Welcome to Coffee Time Again, exposing the truth. Dale at the microphone, the show that demonstrates how history repeats itself. He digs into the past, shows what happens, and how it is happening now. Follow the path of history to where it goes, then relate it to today to reveal the connections. The culture that forgets its history has no future. A history buff and loves to talk about it, going back as far as ancient Greeks and Egyptians and beyond. So grab your coffee, your chair, and listen to the show. Hope you enjoy.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dale. I'm at the microphone as usual. This is Coffee Time Again, exposing the truth. And today we're talking to Evan. I'm not going to try to butcher his last name. Let him do it. And he will introduce himself here in a minute. I just want to welcome you to the show. Today's show is on politics and judicial reform and journalism reform and re-election reform, all kinds of reforms, things that I love to talk about. So, and I got a sneaking suspicion, so does Evan here. So let's let Evan introduce himself to you, and we'll go on from there. Go ahead, Evan.
Well, thank you, Dale. First of all, let me go ahead and tell you how my last name is pronounced. It's pronounced Jaqua, Jaqua. I presently am. I have a business in the field of aviation. It basically selling a lot of different aviation products to aviation organizations in South America. My original specialty, or I would say what I got my master's degree in, was actually in computer science, and I worked in that field many years. Not only as an engineer, but also helping U.S. companies expand overseas, because I have had the fortune of living in different countries around the world. I actually got my master's degree in Japan in Japanese, and lived in China for a while, and am currently in South America. And I've had a lot of different experiences, a lot of different jobs, all the way from working on ranches, working on a ranch with cattle, to delivering pop in rural supermarkets in Utah and in Wyoming, to being an engineer in the field of parallel processing, which is a pretty sophisticated branch of computer science. I got into aviation just because computers and aviation are quite closely linked, and it's a very interesting field to me. But I started the Solutions Party based on a lot of different experiences I've had, based on the different experiences. So from living in countries like Japan and China, communist China, and having many experiences with people from around the world who've experienced lots of different things, and it's helped me shape my own opinions. And I started this blog, the Solutions Party. It's just a blog right now, but it's based on a lot of things that I've observed, and it starts off trying to address some of the fundamental weaknesses in our democracy these days, and coming up with some ideas to address those weaknesses. And so that's, in a nutshell, where I'm coming from.
All right, I like that. The Solutions Party is just a blog right now. Do you have any plans to turn it into a podcast?
I sure do. Yes. In fact, I will start working on that before too long. And in both, yeah. I'm going to do a version in both English and Spanish. I think that want to get these ideas out. And I really enjoy discussing these things and hearing other people's opinions and refining my ideas. Mm-hmm. As I get inspired, and hopefully can help inspire people to think of new ways to help our country move forward.
I think that's a wonderful thing, and let me know if you need any assistance on that blog. But not on the podcast. I mean, I've been doing this for 4 years now.
I sure will. I'm going to be new to it, so I'm looking forward to relying on your expertise.
I sent you my phone number so you can call me if you need to, or write me or whatever. I'll give you my email address too.
That would be wonderful. I would look forward to getting that.
You betcha. Anyway, I want to get started right away. You founded the Solution. How long has the Solution program's been in existence? Wow.
Well, I've been formulating these ideas over quite a long time, but the fundamental idea that started it all was this idea of getting rid of reelection, because we have to recognize a fundamental truth of humans and humankind, and that the human brain gets addicted to things very easily. And one of the most addictive things around is power. People, once they get power, they don't want to let it go. Just as John Boehner, the former Speaker of the House, said, some people, people get a little bit of power and it completely changes them. President Bush, George W. Bush, not H.W. Bush, his son, George W. Bush, said that power is addictive. And I think that this is pretty self-evident. When you look at the viciousness with which dictators like Kim Jong-un in North Korea and Putin and dictators throughout history, the viciousness that they have applied to stay in power, I think is testament to just how viciously addictive power is. But it affects our politicians as well. And as long as you have re-election, that is going to be the priority, and I think that's very clear for what they when they get in office. And in fact, they spend at least half of their time just raising money for their re-election. And you ask yourself this: if you had an employee on contract for 4 years or 2 years, I doubt you would be happy if that employee spent half their time on the job every day just lobbying their colleagues to try to get a contract extension.
Yeah.
Our politicians, we want them to go in there, give them one chance, just one chance to make their mark on history. You're not going to get reelected, so you don't need to waste any time, dedicating your activities to that. And you just go in there and with your ideas, let's make elections about ideas, not about emotions and emotion manipulation and tribalism. And you have one chance to make a difference, to change history, to get your ideas partially or fully implemented, and then move on. And so I think that as long as, and I think this bears out over and over and over again, we see it every day. We see the gridlock. We see this. We see the let's just call it what it is: the stupidity of politicians who